Hi, I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck on YouTube. Oh, and subscribe, man!
Hello, my name is Poe. I am the official mascot of the Deadites on Deck Horror Shop. Come, take my claw. Oops, mind the slime. Let me show you around the horror shop. What's that? I don't like horror? Well, let me show you some of the cool stuff we have over here.
And above all, don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chicks Top 10.
Howdy, gang. Hey, Gory Tiger. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, the poet. I'm going to change my font here because I was running late as usual and forgot to do that. But welcome to another edition of Evil Dead Chicks Top 10. And here in just a little bit, we're going to be showing, not in any particular order, the top 10 kills, in my opinion, from the entire Friday the 13th franchise. Okay. And we're going to get to that here in just a little bit. But I wanted to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first before we get to these kills. So we've still got some programming coming up to end up your week or your work week or whatever way you want to recognize it as. Tomorrow night, I should be having another They're All Messed Up. This will be rescheduled from last week when I wasn't feeling too good and wasn't able to do this one, or the top 10 kills on the Friday the 13th franchise. But I'm going to be covering Don't Open the Door and Pete Walker's Frightmare from 1974 with the Cannibal Mama. And we're going to be talking about those movies and the kills that are in those because, yeah, that's what we talk about on They're All Messed Up. Thinking ahead to November the 21st, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be another Evil Dead Chicks slumber party. This will be Evil Dead Chicks, A Nightmare on El Dorado Avenue slumber party. So be sure to come with your stay awake pills and your caffeine beverage of choice so that you can stay awake for both A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, and A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. And also, so Freddy won't get you, okay? So we don't want Freddy taking anybody out during the slumber party. Have your best slumber party attire. I'm going to be having a new night shirt, a Nighty Nightmares night shirt or sleep shirt rather, to show off for you guys and gals. And yes, it will have Freddy on it, a version of Freddy. You guys and gals will actually be getting a sneak peek. Well, kind of a sneak peek because I can't really show it to you. Yes, we are almost to Halloween Eve, folks. So the poet is correct in wishing everyone a happy Halloween. I want to wish everybody a happy Halloween as well, in advance of the impending holiday. But you've probably been seeing me talk a lot about Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel is, of course, the official mascot of the Deadites on Deck YouTube channel. Poe is the official mascot of my Deadites on Deck horror shop that you can go to at deaditesondeck.com and check out some things. But there is going to be soon a prototype of Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel, folks. This is not going to be one that I've sewn myself, okay? It was just an idea I came up with. And if all goes well, I will be selling the plain stuffed version of Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel and Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel with a sound box in him that will have songs and a bunch of phrases. I ain't gonna lie to you folks, these things ain't gonna be cheap, but I have to, sell them at a little bit higher than normal cost, or I won't make a profit off of them. And I got to make a little bit of profit to keep the shop going and all that, right? If I sold them for what they actually cost, then all the money that you give me would just go into, getting the supplies. So I hope people understand that. And I will be showing off both versions if all goes well here soon. I will be showing the plain version. And then when I get the other stuff in and I'm able to test out the voice box for him, I will be, showing you all that too. Now, keep in mind, they're not going to be fully animated. It's not going to be like Teddy Ruxpin. For those of you that remember Teddy Ruxpin, and he would read you the stories and stuff like that. My cousin Heather had one. I never had one, but she had one. So his mouth's not going to move and all that. He's not going to be that elaborate. But I think he's going to be pretty cool. So be on the lookout for that. See what happens when you're in here actually live. You get to hear these things first before anybody else does. And the poet, just to remind you, as if the poet needs reminding, that so far you've been the only one that has entered the Halloween giveaway contest. So if nobody else enters, you will get your pick of one of the 3 5-movie prize packs that I'm giving out. So if nobody else enters by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on Halloween, then the poet is going to get his pick. He's probably hoping nobody else will enter so he can pick the prize pack that he wants. But I think we're going to go ahead and get to these kills, these top 10 kills in the Friday 13th franchise. And sorry, I'm going to be flashing these up there. I'm trying to get some of the images up that I collected before I came on here, but didn't quite have time to put them into StreamYard. I'm just trying to get some of these. Whoops. There we go. wanted to at least be able to show y'all some of these kills. It's like I can't see those anymore. Oh, there we go. I must have hit the wrong thing. Oh, boy. Y'all just bear with me here. That's what I get for being behind as usual. All right, so that gets a, yeah, the sleeping bag is definitely in my grouping. Y'all may have seen the picture flash up there. So again, these are, hey Blair, these are not in any particular order, folks. These are just 10 of the ones that I thought were the best kills, okay? So the first one I want to show you guys and gals is Marcy's death from the first Friday the 13th. And of course, as you can see there in the picture, she gets an axe to the face. And I think that is a pretty fantastic kill. And of course, Mr. Tom Savini and his assistant Tasso Stravakis were responsible for the kills in the original Friday the 13th. So I always thought this one was a pretty awesome kill. You got quite a bit of blood there. You got the axe really into her head there. And of course, it was one of those things where you used a rubber axe through, you know, you might see the real axe like it's coming down, but when the axe is actually in her head, it's a fake rubber axe, of course. Okay. All right, so the second one I want to show you is Andy from part 3, who gets sliced in half as he's walking on his hands by Jason. I mean, it goes from the crotch down to his head. And he is literally cut in half in part 3. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. The Andy death while it's happening, which is right here, and he goes, oh, and then Jason brings the machete down. And it's a real quick shot, but then you also later on get to see the more revised results of Andy's death there. And he's in the rafters, and his legs is folded over top of him. Really cool, I thought. And, you know, if you got to see it in the original 3D aspect, I'm sure that was really something to see, folks. All right, so let me take those out. So the third one I want to show you is, of course, the sleeping bag kill that the poet was talking about. So here's a shot of when it's going on. And Jason is actually slamming her up against a tree. He's, you know, zipped her up in the sleeping bag. He drags her over and starts banging her against the tree. And I had heard a story from Kane Hodder that, you know, that the blood wasn't really happening, and he got really aggravated, and he was slamming the hell out, not a real woman, of course, but slamming the hell out of this sleeping bag that was stuffed with blood or whatever against the tree. I think there may be some actual footage of him just repeatedly just slamming it against the tree. So here is the after effects of Jason slamming poor Judy in her sleeping bag up against the tree. Now, unfortunately, part 7 was one of those that the MPAA had a field day with and cut it all to pieces originally. So I'm sure they intended for there to be a lot more blood than is actually shown there. But so that's the Judy sleeping bag kill. Oops. Didn't mean to add that back there. Sorry about that, folks. The fourth one I want to show you is Julius's death, the boxer's death from part 8, which here is where Jason knocks Julius's head off, literally there. He punches Julius's head off. And then we also get to see Julius's head a little bit later in the car, which is pretty cool. I always liked that one too, because that was a fun kill, because Jason just, he takes the punches for so long from Julius punching him, and then he wham, and off goes Julius's head. So the next one I want to show, and I think I'm just going to share my screen for some of these, because they were, instead of being JPEGs and stuff, they were pictures that I had to convert, and I didn't really have time to do that. So we are going to scroll down here. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, folks. Just 1 second here. So this is kind of the after effects of Shelby's death, who basically he is drowned and fried in a deep fryer. So you're seeing like the after effects right there of Shelby B's death. I could wait a second here. I wanted to see if I could make that bigger for you folks. Well, I can make it a little bit bigger there. Hopefully y'all can see that. All right. So the next one, even though I'm not a huge fan, sorry folks, although I'm not a huge fan of Jason X, it is not nearly my favorite of the films, of the Friday 13th films. There is a spectacular, in my opinion, death of Adrienne, the one who has her head frozen in liquid nitrogen, and then Jason slams her face down on the countertop and it just shatters. So I'm going to show you guys and gals that. So bear with me 1 second, folks. And we're actually going to see like a before and after shot here. So I'm going to share my screen again, folks. So this is when he's plunged her face down into the liquid nitrogen. Make that a little bit bigger there. And then the next picture I'm going to show you guys and gals is the after effects. going to show you another picture. And this is afterwards, after he slammed her face down on the countertop, and like it just shattered completely. Like, again, even though I didn't much care for Jason X, it's not anywhere near the favorite of the series or anything like that. That was an absolutely spectacular kill, folks. All right. So the next one is Jimmy in part 4, played by Crispin Glover, or Crispin Glover, as Tom Savini calls him. And Tom Savini did the special effects for this one as well. So Jimmy has his hand impaled with a corkscrew, and then his face gets struck with a meat cleaver. So that's a double whammy there, folks. Let's take a gander at that, shall we? Now, I thought there was one that, let's do this. I was pretty sure there was one that showed both of the things that happened to him. But now I'm not finding it. That's weird. Okay, let's do this. There we go. That's what I wanted to show you guys and gals. Well, it's not letting me bring that one up large. Wow, there we go. Maybe that'll do it. There we go. All right. So let's do this. And we see Jimmy getting the corkscrew in his hand and then getting the cleaver to the face. So it's like a double whammy for Jimmy there. All right. So the next one is Alan Hall's death in part 6, where he gets his heart torn out. So let's take a gander. I thought that one was a pretty spectacular kill. Not that one in particular, but there's this whole website, Friday13th.fandom.com, that has all these deaths in it. So let's take a look at the first one, which is Jason reaching into poor Alan Hall's chest there. And then we'll look at the after effects of that, which is this lovely little gem here I'm going to show you. And you can actually see the heart being punched out of poor old Alan Hall's back there. Okay, so another one from part 6 is the triple decapitation of Stan, Katie, and Larry. Which, give me a minute here. Hopefully I can. Hopefully if I put this. I was wanting to find a picture that actually had their bodies without the heads. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that. But in case you didn't know, I wonder if I can show this because, yeah, this actually shows you the animation. So let's see if we can, if it will actually have some movement here. So they've got a, so here we go. I'll let y'all watch that twice. We've got a little animation of the triple decapitation of our 3 characters here. I think that's fantastic. And then Roy shows up and sees them, getting killed. We'll watch that one more time. There we go. All right. And so the last one I wanted to talk about is Dr. Cruz from part 7, who's disemboweled with a tree trimmer. So let's see if I can. So we can actually see, well, maybe. So this is like the before shot when Dr. Cruz is trying to get away from Jason, and we know that he's not going to be able to get away, right? So there's like the before shot. Yeah, I agree, the poet. They cut too much of these, and the TV version is worse. Yeah. So I wanted to show you that shot, and then I wanted to show you another one. If I can find a halfway decent one. Of Dr. Cruz getting his, right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that greater one. Let's scroll back up here. Maybe I can get. Halfway decent one. Let's see. Now, this is actually his death in a deleted scene, so you're gonna see more blood in this one, folks. So there's the Dr. Cruz getting eviscerated with the tree trimmer there. All right, so let's stop sharing there. So do y'all have some favorite kills from the entire Friday the 13th series that you would like to share with me and everybody else that's here? Maybe you agree with some of mine. Maybe you disagree with some of mine. Maybe you've got a different set of them, or, different ones, maybe that I didn't even think about whenever I was making my list, right? Hi, Acres of Movies. You're very welcome. But I'm willing to stay on here a few more minutes if anybody wants to share some of their favorite kills in the Friday the 13th franchise. I know the poet always already said my favorite is the sleeping bag one. But if nobody has anything to add, I'll probably go ahead and call it a night here in about a minute or two. But y'all stay tuned for They're All Messed Up tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll get to start at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Which kill do I like better, Shelly or the sleeping bag? I like the sleeping bag kill better. Acres of Movies. Do I like Nothing But Trouble? I do. I have not seen it in a while, but I do remember liking it, yes. So I'm going to give it about another minute or so. So if anybody wants to call out any of the kills that you think are your favorites, maybe a commentary for that. Well, I do commentaries or watch alongs, but I usually do it by poll. But I'd be willing to put Nothing But Trouble on there at some point. Usually I do horror movies because I was doing comedies and different things, and I was doing those on Sundays, and people didn't really seem to be coming to those. You say your favorite kills, Corkscrew, the twins, when the guy is split with the machete. Yeah, Andy, I had that one. Andy from Part 3, I had that one on my list as well. But I guess that's going to be it for me or for tonight. But I want to thank Acres of Movies and Blair and the Poet and Gory Tiger and Kimberly, all for joining me in the chat, keeping me company in the chat tonight. I want to also thank those of you that maybe, didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat, but you were watching along. I want to thank you as well. And also for those of you that didn't have time to watch the live stream in its entirety or at all, I want to thank those of you that will watch this on the replay. Every watch counts, folks. I don't care how you watch it, because I know not everybody has time to watch all these things live, right? But I do them for the interaction with whoever is in here. But before I get off here for the night, I do want to share some ways that you can support me in the channel, and it won't cost you a dime. As much as I appreciate the super chats and super stickers and people joining the channel and people joining my Patreon and all that, I know that especially in this day and age, everybody's not made out of money. So I appreciate those things, but I also appreciate the free things as well, because they all help me get up into the algorithms of YouTube. And one of the ways you can do that is by subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. If you're enjoying the content I'm putting out, hey, it's free to subscribe, folks. I have a 1,010 or 11 subscribers now, and I want to keep growing. I reached 1,000 milestone, but it don't hurt to keep growing, right? Another way is to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content I've got coming out. Hit the like button on things that you particularly enjoyed. And if you enjoyed everything, hey, hit that like button all across the board, folks. And here's yet another way that you can support me in the channel, and it won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. You can share with friends and family members that you think might enjoy the content that I'm putting out. You can share my channel handle with them. And in fact, I will do you a solid and put my channel handle in the chat for you folks, okay? Deadites on Deck, okay? And I guess that's all from this side of the fence. If I don't see some of you or all of you before Halloween, everybody have a fantastic Halloween, folks. Watch a lot of scary movies, eat a lot of candy if you can, and enjoy the little trick-or-treaters if you can as well. So, as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. And if you love Aussie as much as I do, get out there, blast some Aussie, and try your best to live the Aussie way. And what do I mean by that? Don't stay stuck in the past, folks. Move forward from the present into the future, and don't ever, ever give up on your dreams. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night, folks, and I'll see everybody next time.